The Bert has a silly question, but it's an honest question. But I don't know. I hate the phrasing. With Tony fearing for his life in London with CM Punk, what's the most Eric's feared for his safety in wrestling, minus the trip to North Korea? So if we remove and set aside North Korea, was it your incident with Rick Rude, or is there another incident where you were like, boy, this is getting wild here?
Never. I wasn't. The thing with Rick Rude was bizarre, but it wasn't scary. I was
Okay.
100% confident that Rick Rude was not going to shoot me in the parking lot of the Disney MGM studio. So, no, I wasn't worried about that. Um, I've never, I've never been afraid of. No, there's never been a situation where I was personally fearful. I've been afraid for others. I was scared to death when Mark Bagwell
Yeah.
broke his neck. That scared me. But in terms of myself, no, never, not even for a moment, not a second.
Last
And
one.
that's not because, I'm fearless. I mean, there's some shit that scared the shit out of me. It just never happened. It just, people have, I think, perception of what it's like backstage. And for the most part, my experience has been talent is always super professional.
Yes.
I've been more concerned about my safety in a restaurant than I've ever been in a locker room.
Yeah. If there's a concern for safety, it's amongst the fans, like when people are drunk and rowdy and
Do stupid
pissed
shit.
off, and yeah, doing stupid shit. But you don't have that level of consumption and inebriation in the backstage area
Not always,
unless you're
sometimes.
in Philadelphia. One last question from the Funk. Does Eric think a WCW relaunch would be viable with the interest from Fox and streaming services to carry high quality live wrestling content? Maybe this doc will motivate The Rock and WWE to relaunch it. I would die for that. Now, we got a similar question last night because the whole rise and fall of ECW, the success of that DVD, did create WWE CW. They relaunched the brand. And we know that didn't exactly work out the way we hoped, but that was Vince McMahon's WWE. This is a different era. This is a different time. They're sending talent to Noah. They're letting guys wrestle in New Japan. They're having some of their stars appear on TNA programming and vice versa. I'm curious, do you think if because we've sort of laid out, what the opportunity is for WWE globally, maybe they've maybe maxed out domestically, but if the WWE brand is now beholden to Netflix and USA, if there is any other interest out there, could you see them spinning up another brand, calling it WCW? They own the name, they own Nitro. They could play that old music and the old theme and just really lean into it. Does that seem far fetched to you?
Yeah, yeah. Because the WCW brand was really about Sting, Flair, Goldberg, Diamond Dallas Page, Luger, Hogan Savage at some point. And without the talent, I don't know how you resurrect the emotion of the brand.
Hang on,
Maybe it's
hypothetically.
possible. Maybe it's
Hypothetically.
possible. Okay, go ahead.
Braun Breaker,
True.
Charlotte Flair,
Shit.
Rock Anderson.
Let's do it.
I'm just saying, like you've got enough connective tissue there. You have
Garrett Bischoff.
Garrett Bischoff. You're available.
We gotta get some nepotism going right off the bat. It wouldn't really be WCW, would it? Come on.
I'm just saying it does feel like. I mean, Mike Tenay hasn't done shit in a long time. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's a fun idea to fantasy book and think about, isn't it?
Especially Brock Anderson. We're Braun, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, huge, huge, huge. Good. He's going to be a huge star. But that's why I said to you earlier when I asked if Arn Anderson is still in AEW. Like I've gone crossways with Arn a few times throughout our 30 years of knowing each other, but I've never known anybody better at understanding the performance in the ring, understanding heat, understanding when and how to get over. Arn Anderson is a wealth of fucking knowledge. The fact that they didn't, they meaning AEW, tap into that, bizarre to me. The fact that they didn't take advantage of Brock. I mean, my God, he looks like Arn. He looks like Arn did when Arn was in his 20s. And can anybody imagine that Brock doesn't have an amazing amount of skills and abilities that I'm not going to say inherited, but he learned over time from his dad? How this guy never got an opportunity inside of AEW, a meaningful one, and a push and a commitment from AEW is fucking mind-boggling to me, especially when I see some of the talent that I see on that show. Unbelievable to me. So yeah, I think Arn, because I forgot about Arn until just a little while ago, but Arn's presence as a part of this new reimagined WCW, Brock, as you pointed out, the second generation of former WCW superstars.
Cody, Charlotte, Tessa
Goldberg's
Blanchard.
kid wants to get into the business.
Sting's kid's training right now.
Sting's kid, come on. What the? Levesque, what are you doing? What the fuck, Paul?
And by the way, I do still have the original big gold belt. I mean, can you imagine?
God, come on. Why are we not doing this? I just said a few minutes ago, now I don't see it happening. Now I'm like, I want to pick up the phone and call somebody. What the fuck?
I just wish we could get Nick Hogan running the ropes. Can you imagine him coming out playing air guitar? That'd be hilarious.
Ooh, he gets some heat. Ooh, doggy.
He's a heater, man. Listen, I know it's not going to happen, but it is fun to fantasy book.
You know, my son Garrett and Nick Hogan trained together at Rikishi's gym in LA for quite.
Oh wow, okay.
Nick's trained. Nick was going to step into there. He got hurt. He busted up his shoulder, and that kind of waylaid him a little bit. Waylaid him a lot. But there's a lot of connective tissue there. It's like little seeds you could plant and fertilize and water, and boom. You never know what could grow. Levesque, call me, will you? No, call Conrad. He's got the idea. It's his idea.
No. I want you to do it. But imagine you and Mike Tenay doing commentary on that show. It's awesome.
That'd be fun.
That's awesome. Well, I don't know if it'll happen, but here's what I do know will happen for sure. We're going to be live this Tuesday night, right after Who Killed WCW. It's going to go off the air at 11 p.m. Eastern, and you need to hurry to 83weeks.com. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and don't forget, you get bonus content all the time there, wise choices, and just whenever there's major news breaking. 83weeks.com is your home for all things Eric Bischoff.